Brian Bass, Archaeology Senior Editor with Overland Journal. And today we're going to talk about a project motorcycle that we built out a little bit more than a year ago. It was featured in the Gear 2021 Overland Journal. The bike was really built out to celebrate the 40th anniversary of BMW launching the R80 GS. The R80 GS was kind of a seminal bike, if you will, for adventure motorcycles. At that time, Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, they had other bikes that were the starting of where enduro was going to go. They were licensed on the street, had knobby tires, they were smaller displacement. I think almost all of them were thumpers, meaning a single piston. And you could ride on those and tour on those, but that you took a beating as the rider. And when BMW came out with the R80 GS, that really changed the game. That was the bike that set the pace for adventure motorcycling from there on out. The G stood for Gelände, which means terrain in German, and the S stands for Strasse. And later on in the later 1980s, BMW changed the G/S Geländestrasse to Gelände Sport, which really means just terrain sport. But the semantics aside, the 40th anniversary was kind of a milestone, and we felt it was appropriate to build out a bike that was set up for ultimate world touring and adventure motorcycle. This bike, which is a BMW R100 GS with the PD components on it, mainly the larger tank, was the bike that we built out for the 2021 Gear Guide. Didn't have this paint on it, and some of the components were dialed in a little bit more. We went through some trial and error and some testing of some of the gear, but it was a pretty interesting build. It was really fun. We were able to tap into more of the cottage industry side of aftermarket, people that just toil in their garage but make parts that surpass racing components and what BMW had built. Put factory parts on it. It was actually quite difficult to track down some of the components just because of supply and other things that were affecting the world situation. But in any case, we were able to dial the bike in and put it through the paces, and we're really happy with the build that we came out with. Regardless of how you feel about the Gelände and Strasse or the Gelände Sport, really the semantics aren't important. What's important is bikes like this that get you out to see the rest of our planet, to visit other cultures, and to experience things that go beyond your daily grind. It might be you're an office person and you need to get out on a weekend. You might have a plan to go away for a week. Long duration riding can mean long days of riding over a long weekend. It can also mean you riding for a month or 2 or 3, or riding around the world for a year. It really doesn't matter. And when you look at it from that aspect, the BMW GS and the concept of GS is really what transports us around our planet.